This is going to be one of the most interesting handhelds any company's ever released. It's the OneXPlayer APEX, and we saw a first glimpse of it around a month ago. They did a little bit of a teaser, but recently they launched it over on Indiegogo, and now we have a ton of information. They're actually going to be releasing two different APU variants of the APEX, but I'd say the most interesting thing about this handheld overall is the fact that you can opt to get an external water cooler for this thing. They're calling it the OneXPlayer Frost Bay, and basically it plugs into the back of the handheld when you're in kind of dock mode, allowing for liquid cooling on a handheld gaming device. And this way you can actually take the TDP up to 120 watts on this thing. They also stated that the Apex without the liquid cooler can do a sustained 80-watt TDP, which is plenty for a device like this for sure. And when it comes to the battery, they opted to use an external replaceable hot-swappable 85 watt-hour battery. It also has a little kickstand built in, and I do think this looks really good around back here. No third-party real-world battery life testing has been done on the unit just yet, but they will be offering an external charger and extra battery packs that you can buy. And these are hot-swappable. Either you shut the unit completely down, or if you don't want to do that, you can actually go into OneX console, go to quick sleep, and you can swap the battery from there, wake the device by pressing the power button, and you're good to go. And by the way, the Apex is going to be coming with a 180 watt power supply. Storage is going to be handled by a 2280 M.2 SSD, and with this, you can do up to a 4 terabyte drive. It's also got a micro SD card slot, good up to a 2 terabyte card, and it's even got a mini SSD expansion slot. Right now, I think you can get up to 2 terabyte cards, and they state that it will support up to that 2 terabyte. So in total, the Apex can have up to 8 terabytes of storage, which is pretty crazy for a handheld gaming device. The screen on the Apex is an 8-inch 120Hz VRR display. Looks to be the same one that we saw in the AOK Zoe A1X, the MSI Claw 8 AI, and even the Legion Go S. So we know it's a decent display. It would be nice if it was an OLED, but right now it looks like they're going to be using that IPS for this thing. Up top, we're going to get USB 4. We also have that DC input jack for charging the battery and keeping the unit powered up, 180 watt charger included. Full-size USB 3.2. It's got a power button and fingerprint sensor, plus a 3.5mm audio jack up top. On the bottom, USB-C, but this is a 3.2 port, micro SD card slot, and that mini SSD slot. And around back, you can see we've got that water cooling port cover. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. It might just be a rubber plug that goes in the water cooling system when the water cooler's not attached to it. I'll have to definitely get my hands on this and see. A couple programmable buttons plus trigger locks, so you can go with that hair trigger or full linear throw on it. And the battery slot right down at the bottom. And keep in mind, you can use this without the battery attached as long as you're plugged into power. And of course, when it comes to the specs, like I mentioned, they've got two different APU variants, different storage and RAM variants also to choose from. You can go with either 32 gigs of RAM, 48 or 128, and you can opt to get the AMD Ryzen AI Max Plus 395, which is going to be the higher end model. 16 cores, 32 threads with the Radeon 8060 Si GPU. I mean, we know this thing is a great performer, especially at those higher wattages. On par with something like a mobile RTX 4060 GPU when set up correctly. The 8060 Si GPU has 40 compute units, and it'll clock up to 2900 MHz. Over on the other side, they'll be offering a lower-end variant, and this one comes with the AMD Ryzen AI Max 385. I recently tested this chip in the new GPD Win 5, and I personally love it, especially for a handheld that you're looking to get some battery life out of. 8 cores, 16 threads, and the iGPU is known as the Radeon 8050S. Instead of having 40 compute units, it's only got 32 and clocks up to 2800 MHz. But I'll tell you, I mean, at that 45 watt to even 65 watt TDP, it's a great performer. The last thing I want to talk about here is pricing. And of course, with specs like this in a handheld, I mean, this thing is decked out. It's not going to be cheap. They've got the standard version, and they've also got the liquid-cooled versions. Standard version with the AI Max 385, 32 gigs of RAM, and 1 terabyte of storage is $1,399. Liquid-cooled version of that is $1,459. Taking it up a step to the Max Plus 395 with 48 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage, $1,599. And talking about the liquid-cooled version, $1,659. And we can go up from there. So the Max Plus 395 with 64 gigs and a 2 terabyte M.2 SSD, 1,799. Liquid cooled version of that one, 1,859. And finally, the highest end model that they're going to be offering with the Ryzen AI Max Plus 395, 128 gigabytes of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage, $2,239 for the standard version. And if you want to go with the liquid cooled version, $2,299. So yeah, definitely not cheap, but I mean, even the base model with that 385 and 32 gigs of RAM is going to be an absolute monster for a gaming handheld for sure. Obviously, I'm really excited for this device, but I know that price there is going to be hard for a lot of people to stomach. Either way, hopefully I can get my hands on this and the water cooler so we can do some testing. And if there's anything you want to see running on the OneXPlayer APEX, just let me know in the comments below. Over on their official website and Indiegogo page, there's a ton of information. I'll leave links for both of those in the description. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Like always, thanks for watching.